Work less, earn more. Almost cliche, wouldn't you say? But today's guest, Diana Lidstone, is living proof. When she decided to let go of her group coaching and only focus on her one on one clients, she began to work less and earn more. She's giving us 5 areas that we can simplify in our businesses. Stay with me. All right. Welcome, everyone. Her business, her voice, her conversation. I am here at Potapalooza. I will tell you more about this fabulous event later on. But right now, I have Diana Ladstone here. Thank you for joining me, Diana.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's my first time at Potapalooza, and it is just rocking it.
Very fast paced. We don't have much time, but doesn't it get your juices going?
You got it. You got it.
You are a colleague, a sister podcaster also, I understand.
Correct. I just launched my podcast this past month. So that's been it's been a trepidation, if you can say that. But yeah, it's good.
Well, welcome to the industry. Welcome to this wonderful, wonderful platform. What we're going to talk about right now is the fact that you help us with marketing. And it can be a big, scary word that some of us going into entrepreneurship, we want to kind of veer away from, but we can't get away from it. What say you to that statement, first of all?
Well, it is. And most entrepreneurs or business owners didn't get into business to become a good marketer. They came in to help people. And then all of a sudden, they're shown, oh, darn, there's this thing called marketing. And if I want clients and if I want to get paid, there's all this other stuff that I have to do. So yeah, marketing, you can love it, you can hate it, you can embrace it, you can shy away from it. But if you want a profitable and sustainable business, you've kind of got to embrace it and get good at it.
Gotcha. I found that to be so just as a podcaster. It's something that you cannot leave on the back burner. And your hashtag is work less, earn more. And that's achieved through proper understanding of marketing and getting a marketing campaign together. How does that work? How do you support that? I find that quite interesting.
Oh, well, I'll tell you, it sort of goes back. I've been an entrepreneur for more than 35 years. So
Congrats.
Been there, done that, all that nonsense. And I grew up in a culture where being successful meant that you had to work really, really hard. All of this hustle and this grind. And that's what I thought being successful was. And so in my early days, I did that like a lot of entrepreneurs. And guess what? That leads to something called burnout and stress, and you're not happy. You don't love your business. You're overwhelmed. You're frustrated. All those words, right?
Yes.
And a couple of years ago, I kept hearing this, when you let go of things in your business, when you really simplify your business, when you do less, you earn more. Well, it seems so counterintuitive to me. And I went, how is that possible? But it kept, you get these niggles in the back of your head and you kept thinking, how is that possible? How is that possible? And my particular story is that my husband retired a couple of years ago. And in order to be able to spend more time with him, I thought I've got to let go of some things in my business. And I decided when I looked at everything that I had done that I used to do live events. Well, COVID kind of canceled those. So those were gone. But I was doing a lot of launching and I was doing a lot of group programs. And I love working in a group, but I didn't love the type of clients I was getting. And so I made a decision, and it took me months to actually do it, but to let go of my group coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, this is the last time I'm going to do it. And, you feel, or I felt shame and guilt, and I'm not making the impact that I want, et cetera, et cetera. And I thought, okay, I'm going to look at my private clients and what is it that they truly want?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at a stage in my life where I honestly, I don't need to work. I don't need to have a business, but I love it. And so I looked at those private clients and went, well, what do they need and how can I help them even better? And what these women were telling me when they came to me was that they were heading into burnout. They were heading, this overwhelm, this hustle. They weren't making the money that they thought they should be making. And I went, well, yeah, I can help them do that, but I'm not living into what I'm teaching.
That's very honest.
Well, and so I said, okay, I'm going to rebrand and I'm going to just open up. And some of my clients and some of my friends would think this is, totally unlike Diana. I'm going to open up to the universe and say, I just want a couple more private clients. And all of a sudden, it's like they're knocking at the door. The private clients were coming in. And to be truthful, that is the business model that works for me right now at my stage of business. It doesn't always work it might not work for you. It might not work for someone else. But I've never worked so less and earned as much.
Mm-hmm. Let me just stop you right there. I want to make sure that I'm clear about this. Working less, you take on the private clients, and that's it. You don't have to try to have everybody in your group. You're happier, you have more time, and you're making the money that you deserve. Is that what I hear you say?
Exactly. So I say there's kind of 5, I talk about simplifying your business. And there's 5 areas to simplify. And as you're simplifying, you're letting go of things, but you're doubling down on those things that work.
Okay. So you want to explain those? Sound wonderful.
Yeah, 5 areas. So the first is, some people call it a target market. Some people call it a niche. I say micro niche. Like really find the thing that brings you joy. Those people who you love working with, that little niche. So I'll give you an example. I can give you lots of examples, but a particular example, I'm working with a woman who does grief support. And she's very reluctant to market, et cetera, et cetera. But when I ask her what she really wants in her heart, she starts talking about helping children and her eyes light up and she becomes magnetic. She's not going to have to sell, right? Because that's her true purpose. So that's her micro niche. Another one is a lawyer. She was a general lawyer in a small city. And again, she had lost the passion in her business. And so over time, we figured out she loves solving complicated puzzles for real estate investors. Her micro niche is not just real estate, but real estate investors. So when you niche down again and again and again, things become so clear. Your marketing can become clearer because imagine your words, your marketing message is going to be different if you're talking to parents who have children who are from the ages of 2 to 8, or if you're talking to a woman who's become a widow, right? I mean, They may be the same message, but you're going to talk differently. You're going to provide different activities. It's going to be different. So micro niching is number 1. Number 2, way to simplify your business is focus on solving one problem.
One problem,
not 100 problems. We can all help a lot of people solve a lot of problems. But it's the difference about what your marketing is talking about. So let's say I could help this lawyer become profitable, be happier in her business, and grow her team. but my marketing isn't going to talk about that. My
Mhm.
marketing is not going to talk about growing her team. That's a side effect of what I can help her do. My specialty is really helping her really love her business again and become profitable. So that's what I talk about. So solve one problem in your marketing, find out what they really want. And too often people address their clients, what they think their client needs.
True. Yes.
It's what they
Yes.
want. It's what they want. What are their aspirations?
That is so true. If we could only get that one gem right there. Oh my
You
goodness.
got it.
That is so valuable. What they want. We're in business to help people. So help them where they want it, not where we think it needs to be.
Exactly.
Sorry, I had to break in on that. That light bulb definitely went off.
It's a mindset shift. And when we can really think about we're serving them, that's what business is, right? Someone has a problem, you have a solution. And if they can hear the problem in your marketing, they go, oh, that's me. And she can help me overcome it. Yeah, that's what it's about. So we've talked about micro niching, solving one problem. Number 3 is having and it comes by different words, but I call it a core program, product, or service. Some people call it a flagship program. Some people call it a signature program. It goes by different names. But focus on selling one thing. Now, it may have upsells and downsells, but create that one thing that you're going to build your reputation on.
Gotcha.
Which really is for your micro niche, which really is for their problem that they have.
And that's all a part of your marketing.
It's all marketing. Mm-hmm. So if you have, let's say you have a janitorial service. I know that's probably not your listener, but let's say they do. And I look at their website and they've got 20 different services. You go, well, they can't be an expert at all of those. Yeah. So what are you going to build your reputation on? What are you going to build your reputation as the go-to expert for? Mm-hmm. And let all the rest go. When you find something and it starts working, you double down on it. You don't start creating something else, right? I mean, that's the problem with entrepreneurs. It's a good problem and it's a bad problem. We're creative. Mm-hmm. And the bad part of it is if something doesn't work perfectly, we think, oh, either I'm going to make it perfect and they procrastinate until it's perfect, or they go, I'm going to create something else and then something else and then something else. One thing. And keep making it better. Keep making it better.
Listeners, I hope you all are really taking notes because I'm sitting here taking notes. This is some life-changing information. So, Diana, I'm looking at the time. Will you move us on to point number 5?
Okay. So I'll go to point number 4 first. Point number 4. Again, you notice there's a theme. 1. Do one thing well before you move on to the next. So the one thing is find out the best way you're going to generate leads. Mm-hmm. So what do I mean? Early on in my career, I was fortunate enough to have a good business coach who said to me, Diana, you need to get out there and be speaking to people. Oh, I'm not a good speaker, but I got better at it. But what she noticed was that people resonated with me best when they saw me live. Because I'm sort of if you could say it, a teacher at heart. That's my style. I teach, as you can tell. I'm giving you 5 things. So you have to figure out what is the best way that people resonate with you and focus on that to be your best lead generation. And then when you've mastered that, then maybe you add something else. But too often people are, like when I did my live events, I used to ask people, well, how many ways are there to market your business? And they would do brainstorming and they'd come up with 27, 35, whatever. There's so many ways. You've just got to pick one and then try to master it.
Gotcha.
Number 5 is focus on one social media platform. Find out where your micro niche is and focus on that, master it before you move on. Because, there's, I don't know how many social media platforms there are, but almost everybody, except for like the millennials, are on Facebook, especially women.
Yes.
Right? And God forbid, Facebook keeps changing every day.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be on social media, pick one platform, learn it well, do it well, and then move on to the next. That way, you're uncomplicating your business, you're simplifying your life. Doing things like this, you're going to gain back probably 10 hours in a week.
Mm.
And who out there of your listeners wouldn't like 10 hours where they could do something else?
Plus, uncomplicate it all. That is, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, there are lots of other things that I teach, but I always start with this whole idea of simplifying your business. And I think it's one of the key mindsets. It's one of the key shifts that I teach women who come to me who are overwhelmed in their business. And if they want to become that profitable, joyful CEO, then they've got to go through the process of simplifying things.
Wow. Diana, you have given us so much. And I can think of quite a few women that I've spoken with already in my entrepreneurial journey that really need your help because they are on the verge of burnout. They're selling shampoo by day and cars by night.
Oh my God, yes.
So much. It's no wonder. So I'm definitely going to make some referrals. Put the ball back in their court. I really, really will, because these 5 tips that you gave us, but what I hear is niching it down. Micro niching is where it starts. And then one, master.
Yeah. And other words you can use is focus, focused, like that magnifying glass right down to the little bits.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Diana, how do people find you?
Work with you? A lot of ways.
Just give us a couple ways, because I don't want anybody getting confused. I want them to find you, dear lady.
Thank you. My website, very complicated, dianalidstone.com. That's Diana, like the princess. Lidstone, like LIDSTONE.com. And on my website, I have my podcast, which is called the Grow Equation Business Podcast, because growing your business is a combination of things. So It's GRO plus, and that equals W, which is work less, earn more. So there's on my website are the links to all of that. Of course, I'm on Facebook and I'm on LinkedIn under the same name.
Got you. I can't thank you enough. You're going to have to come back where we can we'll take it 1 point at 1 tip at a time and really take a half hour to dissect it, because there's so much meat there. I don't want you to just teach because I want to send people to you, but I know that there are so many people, men and women, that need this breakdown, and life would be so much better for them, uncomplicated, and they can fall in love with what they want to do, or even say, this is not what I want to do. Holy cow, what am I doing? I'm wasting time. Let me move on. You can help a person recognize that, right?
Yeah. And so I should mention also, I don't know when this podcast is going to air, but I do have an upcoming workshop again, which is on my website under the tab Work With Me workshops. And we're going to spend probably 90 minutes going into each of these 5 areas.
Mm-hmm. Is that a open to the public webinar type of thing?
It's a complimentary.
Okay. All right. This is as I say, this is fabulous. How to uncomplicate. And it just keeps coming back to my spirit, just to really be able to fall in love and be effective.
Yes.
With what you're doing. If we don't love it anymore, why are we doing it? If we're burned out and it's a job.
Yeah, exactly.
Gosh. All right.
Good. Well, thank you so much, Margot. I had a great time here, and I'm sure we're going to enjoy the rest of Potapalooza.
Yeah. My first time, your first time. I think we better buckle up and really just dig in. It's just a little bit after 12 here, Pacific Standard Time. So I think we have the rest of the day. Once again, with everything that's going on, thank you for your time and dedication to women in particular. I so appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
All right, everybody, I'll be back another episode coming up. Stand by. I want to thank you for listening to Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation. Couple of things that I want you to do right now. Go to my website, pick up a copy of Her Business, Her Voice, Her Reinvention, how I went from game show hopping to international show host, author, and speaker in 1 year. Number 2, please freely listen to each and every episode. Share them out with your family, friends, the men in your lives. And then number 3, get in contact with me, one of the experts that have been on the show, because I want to make sure that you reinvent yourself. I'll be back next week with a brand new episode here on Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation.